say anything, you're gonna do it.
About what? Is that more than
There tomorrow.
Don't screw it. Correct.
I got 7. I don't know.
Don't forget that.
1, 2, 3,
I guess the same as
7, 9, 10.
I would put 15 hole, but I hope you're right.
15. Wow, just lean it.
Great shape of it, fire.
Oh, yeah, it will.
Well,
You
if
said
somebody
I've
goes
been doing
down
it
with
for 20
heart
years.
attack. No, that's this.
Look at that countdown.
Oh, there you go.
Kinda sad sitting over
They'll catch up.
Sweet.
when it's almost done.
Good evening and welcome to the December 7th Muscatine City Council meeting. Thank you everyone for coming. Special thanks to Troop 783 that's going to be observing our meeting tonight. Cinda, will you please do the roll call?
Council members Raywalt,
Present.
Fitzgerald,
Present.
Matvick,
Present.
Saucedo,
Present.
Bynum, Harvey,
Present.
and Spread.
Present.
6 present, 1 absent, Your Honor.
Thank you, Cinda. Will you please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. We have a special evening tonight. We're going to swear in 2 new firefighters. Would Jason Verschoor and Matt Dickerson please come up? Raise your right hand, please. I, Matt Dickerson, do solemnly swear that I, go ahead. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Iowa,
and the state of Iowa.
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all of the duties of firefighter
discharge all the duties of firefighter
in the city of Muscatine, Iowa,
in the city of Muscatine, Iowa,
as now or hereafter
as now or hereafter
required by law.
required by law.
I, Jason Verschoor,
I, Jason Verschoor,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the constitutions
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of Iowa,
and the state of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of firefighter
discharge all the duties of firefighter
in the city of Muscatine, Iowa,
in the city of Muscatine, Iowa,
as now or hereafter
as now or hereafter
required by law.
required by law.
Congratulations. Matt, will you please go around the front and shake the council's hand? They'd love to congratulate you.
Welcome. Congratulations.
Welcome aboard. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Welcome aboard. Congratulations.
They sit a lot higher, don't they?
Depends on which one you're in. So these.
Welcome aboard. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our new firefighters and all of their family members who I know will support them. You are free to go and have a great time at your reception. while they go celebrate, we're going to continue on with tonight's agenda. We're on 4B, and I just wanted to ask if there was anyone here tonight who would like to speak to council about something not currently on tonight's agenda. Please come to the podium if you would. I think there's 3 or 4 people. Please state your name and address.
Hello, council members and Lady Mayor. My name is Roger Chapman at 1012 East State Street here in Muscatine. And one of the last city council meetings that I attended, you folks had talked about getting the flashing stop signs put up at the intersections. Well, I'd love to see that very much happen at the intersection of 8th and Cypress. I was out the other night standing talking to a buddy of mine and stood there and watched at least 8 cars come up to that stop sign in front of the gas station. Just turned, never even stopped. Just slowed down and around the corner they went. And everybody's so used to that yield there, nobody's even paying attention to that stop sign.
So we requested Roger to have the traffic committee look at that,
Okay.
and if you want to come up and maybe mention something about that. I had actually asked for that. That was something that I thought in the areas that are not very well lighted. I know that particular spot that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I actually got hit, so
Yeah.
People aren't used to it.
I'm very in favor of that, but let's see what.
And also, I noticed tonight about 6 o'clock there was a semi come down my street.
Yeah.
It passed the sign, totally ignored it.
You're right. I mean, and same thing with what the mayor's saying. That's the exact same thing. People are used to that being a yield. So,
Brian, do you have an update?
Yes, Mayor and Council, Brian Steinman, Public Works Director. The 3 flashing red stop signs that were installed at Mulberry Avenue, I didn't know this at the time when I talked to you last time, but we did buy those with the anticipation of moving them throughout town when we put in a new sign. So we are going to have those removed. We'll put in traditional stop signs at that location, and we'll take one of those flashing red signs and put it at 8th and Cypress. So, and then we'll have the rest of those to use as we change traffic patterns throughout town. We'll have signs like that we can put out. So that should be coming soon. Hopefully it doesn't get too much snow. That'll happen relatively soon, probably early next week.
So the flashing one won't be at Hauser and Mulberry anymore?
No, they'll be moved off now. I think they've been there over a year. We think people are accustomed to that stop at that location now, so we'll be able to put those at different locations throughout the city.
How much do they cost?
That's a great question. I'll have to find out for you later. They're over $1,000, but they're expensive, yes. So
When will that be installed?
hopefully next week. Yes. We'll do our best to get it as soon as we can.
Thank you, Brian. Anyone else? Please state your name and address.
Hello, my name is Hannah Howard, and I live at 218 West 11th Street. And I am the community coordinator for the Nature Conservancy, but I'm here tonight on behalf of the Muscatine Pollinator Project. We are an all-volunteer-based group made up of volunteers that care about pollinators, which includes birds, butterflies, bees, all kinds of things, as well as City of Muscatine staff, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the Nature Conservancy, and Muscatine County Conservation Board, as well as a few other partners. And we have been active in the Muscatine community for about a year now, and we've been very fortunate to partner with the city on the new Muscatine Pollinator Park, which is right next to the transfer station, which is going to be a great addition to the new trail that will be right around there, which now has been seeded. Thanks to cooperation with the city and some grant funding we were able to receive, into 8 acres of diverse native wildflowers that will be great pollinator habitat and very beautiful along the trail, with hopes to also do an additional 8 planned for next year as well. So we'll have 16 acres of really high quality prairie habitat for pollinators. And so in addition to that pollinator park, we also grow wildflowers and grasses in the MCC greenhouse, which we give to residents in town, as well as put at projects like working with John at the wastewater treatment plant. We put some at some different way stations and water treatment centers. So we do a lot with that. And we also do education and outreach with youth. But if you want to learn more, you can check us out on our Facebook page, Muscatine Pollinator Project. Otherwise, what I'm really here tonight is the fundraiser that we'll be putting on. If you've seen anything regarding the butterflies, bees, and brews, we are responsible. So we have a great partnership with Contrary Brewing, where we have been able to brew our own beer made with real Muscatine local honey that we've created with Contrary Brewing, and we'll be kegging that and distributing that at our fundraiser this Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Tickets are $20, but that includes one beer as well as light appetizers. There'll be free live music, and there'll also be free door prizes as well as a silent auction. So it should be a really neat time, and all of those funds will be used as seed money to start new pollinator plantings as well as help us become a 501c3, which we are currently in process of. So there's a lot of really exciting things that are really beneficial to the community going on that we've started, and I brought some more flyers there at the back of the room next to the agendas, as well as a card of mine if you have any questions, and I brought tickets tonight if anyone's interested. So thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. It's a wonderful project. We appreciate it.
Well, we really appreciate the partnership with the city. It's been a really great project, and it'll be really great to see these plantings come to fruition. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening.
Good evening. Please state your name and address.
My name is Alicia Eggers, and I live at 2118 Mulberry. And this is my granddaughter, Alicia. She wanted to come up and meet the council tonight.
Okay.
So I reside at 2118 Mulberry with my husband, 2 daughters, and a granddaughter, and until December 4th, a potbelly pig. I'd like to start a conversation about the ordinance that requires residents to have 2 acres of land to have a potbelly pig in the city. My husband and I bought a potbelly pig in August of 2015, not knowing about the ordinance. Hamlet was a therapeutic pig, or therapeutic pet, for our whole family. He comforted us after the tragic death of my 25-year-old daughter on 7/7. He's very smart. He brought us lots of laughs and happiness in the worst possible time of our lives until, like I said, December 4th. On Wednesday, November 15th, Hamlet got out of our fenced yard and was found 2 doors down, enjoying the greener grass on the other side of our fence. The police arrived, and Hamlet was, well, we'll just say coaxed home. On 11/16, Animal Control called to tell me that we had 1 week to get rid of him because we didn't own 2 acres of land, even though he spent the majority of his time in our home. We came tonight to support our family member Hamlet and to introduce the idea to our community of all families, or of allowing families to enjoy owning a potbelly pig as we have. I do want you to know that our potbelly pig is being fostered by a wonderful family, but we are in hopes that he can come back home. Please feel free to look at our personal Facebook pages to see the joy that Hamlet has brought to us. And I don't know if you can see, I did bring a picture on my phone tonight. I don't know if you can see him or not. But with him out of our home, and this is not just a personal agenda, it is, but it isn't. He's brought us so much joy that we would like to see other community members experience that. He's very smart, gives kisses for goldfish crackers and all sorts of things. But anyway, I appreciate your time, and I will see you the next meeting.
Thank you, Mrs. Eggers. I appreciate you coming. Anyone else?
My name is Max Kaufman, 1609 Foster Street, Muscatine, Iowa. 3 weeks ago, 3 people came before you and addressed you regarding the temporary furlough of the city administrator. These 3 people were Nadine, Kelsey, and Oz, the 3 new council members to be. They presented a very good point about anyone suing the city probably should not be leading the city. Following their presentation, several other people got up and give a different point of view of the same idea, a little tweak off the same branch. At the time, as appears to be tonight, the 6 of you are sitting there looking at them, looked at them like you're looking at me, like I'm a window. You're looking through me. So I'm going to address Mr. Fitzgerald, since you're my ward member, my ward representative, and Mr. Salcedo, since you're the ward member at large, standing. And I'm going to, unless you have a spokesman for the 6 of you, I'm going to ask you why, when a citizen comes and stands at this podium with a question for you or a point that they would like to make, do you continually look through them, sitting there with your teeth in your mouth, with nothing else to do but sit and look at me or them, and have nothing to respond? You just look at me as though I'm a window, with a smirk on your face as though you have now, Salcedo. You have a smirk on your face. So
I'm always going to be smiling, Max. I've known you for over 30 years, so I know. I'm going to always represent what I believe, and I'm going to stand up for what I believe. And you're not going to come in here and try to bully, try to tell me what your opinion is. You have your right for your opinion, as so do I. As I'm elected by the people to represent the mass at large, I will put my opinion, and when other people come up and give their opinions, we are entitled to actually review it and make our decision. So I can't just say one person's going to have me make a decision, just as what you're saying, and I'm going to go with what you have to say. There's other individuals that have the exact opposite opinion.
that's right.
If 3 people come up, is that going to mean that means the whole 20,000 are represented? Are you representing the whole city?
Don't go to that again.
Well, then explain to me.
Don't go to that again, Salcedo.
So then
that
how-
is always the base you run to.
No, that's not always the base. It's actually what we do represent. Each one of us represents a district or at large.
But when those people come to you 3 weeks ago, you all just sat there with no response to them. When the other people followed them, you all sat there with no response to them. Tonight's agenda shows that there's nothing on the agenda about it. Is that correct?
Correct.
In both cases, the other night and tonight.
Correct.
So they talked on deaf ears, and you looked through the
Again, that's not going to be the case in this situation. Everyone has their own opinion, okay? So I'm not speaking for all the other council. I
Okay,
speak for me.
Mr. Fitzgerald, then you have the floor, sir.
I honestly listen to everybody that steps up to that podium, sir. And you're not a window. And we have when we have someone speak their piece, that we take it consideration, and we give it what consideration we feel is necessary. It does not mean we are going to immediately have a response for you. We listen to what you have to say. We take that into consideration. I've done it that way for 26 years. If you don't like it, run against me.
Very good response, sir. Very good response.
Well, at least I'm not smirking tonight. I may have my arms folded because it's cold in here. But everybody that I've heard comments about me, about council members sleeping, and they've been doing this and doing that. When you've sat in these seats, then you can criticize what I'm doing. far as my personal. But when it's comments that you want to make, we do listen. We listen to everyone. You made a comment to me the other night at one of the meetings downstairs, and I gave you an immediate response.
Yes, you did. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Kaufman. Is there anyone else? Hearing nothing, we're going to move on with tonight's agenda. We're on number 5, the consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes items 6A and B, items 8A through H, items 12A through D, and tonight's bills totaling $3,189,111.63.
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with all ayes. Moving on down, all the way to 11A. Presented for City Council's consideration is the first reading of an ordinance amending Title I, Chapter 9, Section 2E. This amendment is for a ministerial correction to the current city code to clarify and bring the code into compliance with the state code. Is there a motion to approve the first reading of this ordinance as submitted?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Councilman Harvey, how do you vote?
Aye.
Saucedo?
Aye.
Spread?
Aye.
Raywalt?
Aye.
Natvig?
Aye.
And Fitzgerald?
Aye.
The motion carries with all ayes. 11B. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution deleting property from the Consolidated Muscatine Urban Renewal Area. This is the first step in updating and amending the urban renewal plan and related TIF districts as discussed during previous in-depth sessions. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Second? Any discussion?
As I understand it, this is the property that's south of the, what used to be the miniature golf course?
Correct.
130.
The property directly south, and then we'll be, a couple weeks later, we'll be looking to create a new TIF district that includes that same area, the area directly north of that, the new area to include white distribution as well. This will allow us to proceed with that TIF agreement the City Council agreed to some time back.
So that takes it off the existing one and will put it on
A new one,
a new one.
yes.
Hearing no other discussion. Councilman Raywalt, how do you vote?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Natvig?
Aye.
Saucedo?
Aye.
Spread?
Aye.
And Harvey.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. 11C. We have the first reading of an ordinance deleting property from the tax increment financing district for the Consolidated Muscatine Urban Renewal Area of the City of Muscatine, pursuant to Section 403.19 to the Code of Iowa. Is there a motion to approve the first reading of the ordinance as submitted?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Councilman Spread, how do you vote?
Aye.
Harvey?
Aye.
Saucedo?
Aye.
Natvig?
Aye.
Raywalt?
Aye.
And Fitzgerald.
Aye.
The motion carries with all ayes. 11D. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution setting a public hearing on the proposed amendment to the revitalization plan for the 2013 Muscatine Housing Urban Revitalization Area. This is the first step amending the urban revitalization plan and creating a new urban revitalization area per our previous in-depth meeting discussions. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Natvig, how do you vote?
Aye.
Raywalt?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Spread?
Aye.
Harvey?
Aye.
Saucedo?
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. 11E. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution approving the contract with the Enhance Iowa Board for the CAT grant, which stands for Community Attractions and Tourism. This grant is for the Pros of Progress project. This project's fundraising effort has reached its goal to raise the funds necessary to qualify for the Enhance Iowa Board $500,000 Community Attractions and Tourism grant. Now that the project is fully funded, the next step is for the City Council to approve the agreement with the Enhance Iowa Board. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Councilman Raywalt, how do you vote?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Natbig?
Aye.
Spread?
Aye.
Harvey?
Aye.
Saucedo?
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. 11F. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution setting public hearing on the zoning ordinance for home-based businesses. Rewriting this portion of the city code would regulate home occupations, allowing them to be more beneficial to the community and limiting others that have proven irritating to residents and have generated complaints. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Scott? Alan, you want a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, Greg, where would be the best place for the public to view this new ordinance? Would it be posted on the link on the website?
I don't think you've done that yet, have you? But well, other than the agenda packet, I guess we could create a separate link under community development. So obviously it's in the packets, but
Right.
we'll create a separate link.
It's pretty comprehensive, and
Yeah.
Certainly.
same thing goes with the next one we're going to.
We'll create a link under community development under.
So is there any of this that's going to be grandfathered in, or are the homes going to basically say, hey, you have a business and you're no longer going to be allowed to have this?
There's no grandfather, is there? Provision?
We're just setting the public hearing right now, Sam.
Right.
Are we going to grandfather any in, Andrew?
Grandfathering in the same way it would with anything else in the zoning ordinance would apply, although in general this is more of a loosening of regulations, so aside from a few particular areas, I would say that grandfathering probably wouldn't be too much of an issue with this. Can address it more comprehensively for you in the staff report that'll come.
Thank you.
2 weeks from today.
So we're not going to shut down anybody's business.
No.
It's already going.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, some of the operational standards where you might see it impact some is some of the how it relates to parking and outdoor storage, which is some of the areas we had a lot of complaints generated. So.
Compliance and how they operate.
Or actually, if somebody has 22 cars parked in front of a business, or
right,
or slash, depending on what it is as far as things like that. Okay, I understand.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Councilman Raywalt, how do you vote?
Aye.
Natbig?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Spread?
Aye.
Saucedo?
Aye.
And Harvey.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. 11G. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution setting a public hearing amending the zoning ordinance for sign regulations. The next step in the modernization of this ordinance is the rewriting of the portion that regulates signs. The primary intent of the rewrite is to make it more user-friendly and understandable. Prior to any formal action by City Council, a public hearing is required. This public hearing will take place Thursday, December 21st of this year in the City Hall Council Chambers. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Spread, how do you vote?
Aye.
Harvey?
Aye.
Saucedo?
Aye.
Natbig?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
And Raywalt.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. 11H. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution approving the pre-application to the Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship for the Water Quality Initiative Urban Conservation Projects Grant. The city's Public Works Department, in cooperation with HNI Corporation, the Muscatine Pollinator Project, and the Muscatine Soil and Water Conservation District, would like to submit a grant pre-application for the Water Quality Initiative Urban Conservation Projects funded by the Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship. This pre-application will be for construction of a bioretention cell and permeable pavers in the 3rd Street parking lot across from City Hall, along with an infiltration trench in the HNI parking lot on the north side of East 2nd Street. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Any discussion?
It's on second.
Are you asking a question?
Not of you, no, thank you.
Councilman Spread, how do you vote?
Aye.
Harvey?
Aye.
Saucedo?
Aye.
Raywalt?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
And Natbig.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. 11I. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution approving a settlement agreement and release with Envision Architecture for the Fire Station Number 2 project. A dispute had arisen between the city and Envision concerning architectural services under the contract. The city and Envision have reached an agreement to resolve all outstanding matters. The city agrees to make a payment in the amount of $22,537.25, consistent with the agreement and the release. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Spread, how do you vote?
Aye.
Harvey?
Aye.
Saucedo?
Aye.
Raywalt?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
And Natbig.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted with all ayes. 11J. We have a request to approve the goals and objectives for fiscal year 18-19. Is there a motion to approve this request as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The request is approved with all ayes. 11K. We have a request presented for City Council's consideration to approve change order 001 for the Cleveland Street Reconstruction Project. During the course of the project, several items arose that required the contractor to do additional work. The change order is for 3 items totaling $20,475, which brings the total project cost to $415,851.95. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The request is approved with all ayes. 11L. Presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve a sewer rate study agreement with Feenstra and Kim. This study will be used to determine future rates for wastewater sewerage and treatment, as well as collection and drainage fees when the current rates expire on June 30th of 2018. The rate is not to exceed $9,300. There is $15,000 budgeted for this study. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The request is approved with all ayes. 11M. Presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve the Mad Creek Inflow and Infiltration Study Agreement with Stanley Consultants. This study is ready to have the data analyzed and possible solutions considered to minimize the unnecessary flow to the Mad Creek Lift Station. Staff is recommending the approval of the professional services agreement with Stanley Consultants in the amount of $9,950. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I found out the Mad Creek Lift Station is between HNI and the river, so it's out of sight.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The request is approved with all ayes. 11N, presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve a drag line hose purchase for the water pollution control plant. The lone vendor for this purchase was Eldon C. Stutzman Incorporated in the amount of $6,810. There's $7,000 budgeted for the purchase. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, in the packet, explained that they're not sure with an extra length and the diameter of the hose, et cetera, we might possibly need another new tractor. And that would be the third new tractor in a couple of years. The first one was purchased and found out it wouldn't go slow enough with enough torque to do the job, which could have been ascertained before they bought it. Now we have this one, the current one, and now we might need another new one. I just wonder if we're planning ahead on this. He skipped out.
Well, John's not here, he doesn't
Did you
feel
take off?
good.
Well, I was going to say, it hasn't come forward yet. It'll be a budget item that we'll be discussing during our staff budget sessions in December, so I don't have a whole lot of information at this point in time, but it'll be coming forward. Maybe coming forward, let me put it that way, after we have our discussions. Those are scheduled for December.
The 4.5 inches is rapidly disappearing, is that what I recall?
Saying both.
Harder to find.
Harder and harder to find, indicated that both contractors could not find it.
But they still have two vendors that are providing it, correct? Or
There's two
producing
vendors
the
that-
4.5-inch hose?
Two vendors that were unable to find the hose.
Okay.
Possibility of 3 tractors in less than 4 years is not good.
Hopefully I can get a good trade in.
I think the one they got was a used one as well too, so
Yeah,
it was
I
a good deal.
don't think they've ever bought a brand new one. They've all been used. They're
And that one that they have, it actually looks really nice. I mean, still in pretty good condition.
That's all. Thank you.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Request is approved with all ayes. 11O, presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve the purchase of a Level 4 ballistic shield for the police department. This shield will be used by the department's tactical team. Staff has recommended the purchase of this shield from Kiesler's, am I saying that right? Kiesler's Police Supply in the amount of $7,065.50. This purchase will include the cost of a trolley carry system that will allow a single operator to control the shield. There will be a $149 shipping and handling fee for a total cost of $7,214.50. There's $7,000 budgeted for this purchase. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Chief Sergeant, how big an item is this, please?
Assistant Chief.
How big size-wise?
Assistant's right back up, Chief.
Ballistic shield is, if you've seen the tactical team operating, they have smaller ones that are level 3. Those are intended to stop handgun rounds and some lighter rifle. The level 4 is going to, if I remember the dimensions right, is about 4 to 5 foot tall by 2.5 foot wide.
Okay, about the same kind, about the same.
And it's heavier. It's considerably heavier, and that's why you have a trolley system, so that if they need to move it down a long hallway, they have the wheels and the trolleys to move it.
Makes sense. What's it made of?
Besides Kevlar, I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sure there's new space age materials that are growing in there, but.
Probably
Thank you.
some steel.
Pardon?
Probably some steel in it, I would suspect.
There could be.
Ballistic
it
steel.
Could be a steel core wrapped with Kevlar.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The request is approved with all ayes. We're on 11P, Presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve the issuance of a purchase order for a survey of the West Hill Sewer Separation Project. Survey and construction staking are required for this project. Due to the amount of the proposed cost from Martin and Whitaker, council approval is needed to issue a purchase order for the work. Staff is requesting issuance of a purchase order in the amount of $12,761. Funds are available in the sewer separation budget. Is there a motion to approve this request as submitted?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Greg, I've forgotten 3C. Is this an as-built survey, or is this for next year's work?
3C is the work that's currently under construction right now. Phase 4 starts of the CSO project in the spring of 2018.
This will be an as-built,
2018.
like where the pipe really is. Huh? Thank you.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The request is approved with all ayes. 11Q, presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve the comprehensive annual financial report and audit for the fiscal year ended June 30th of 2017. The report and audit were completed in early November of 17. Staff is requesting that City Council accept the report at this time. Is there a motion to approve this request as submitted?
So moved.
Second?
Second, Your Honor.
Any discussion?
The audit committee met and excellent audit completed, found basically nothing. The only thing I found was I didn't really like the cover of the audit financial report. But other than that, aside, they've printed it as is, so my comment didn't count, even with staff. I must be a window. So, anyway, this is an excellent opportunity for the city. We would, again, hats off to Nancy's group for doing such a great job with the financial reports. Thank you, Nancy.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The request is approved with all ayes. 11R, presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve agreement regarding withdrawal of pending motions for case number EQCV 023989. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second? All in favor, I'm sorry, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
2. The request is approved with all ayes.
With 2 nays.
I'm sorry, with 4 ayes and 2 nays. I got in the habit of saying that. Moving on down to 14, communication from council members. Councilman Spread, do you have anything tonight?
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Councilman Natbig?
Nothing, thank you.
Councilman Raywalt?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Councilman Saucedo?
I had a conversation with Public Works and Jim Edgemond in regards to trying to see if we get some clarification. I understand that I want to see if we can get 2 minutes to give us a heads up on what's going on Mississippi Drive. I think we're close to opening, and I was wondering if he could at least give us about 2 minutes of his time, if that's okay.
2? Only got 2?
Yes.
Well, that'll take that much time passing out paper.
After he passes out the papers.
Here, why don't I?
What? Oh.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I think the way we start this is to say that everybody is aware that tomorrow has been in the news and other places as the opening from Mississippi Drive. And Councilman Saucedo's comment, I think, is a good one. that maybe we should make it really, really clear as to exactly what that means. So the diagram in front of you, in what when I started with it was orange, but it appears to kind of be a little bit more pink than anything else, is the area that is going to be opened more like the end of the day tomorrow. That is the plan. So you'll be able to come from the south end all the way into Iowa, and then you will have to turn left and go up Iowa to 2nd Street to continue on through town. The remainder from just past Iowa down to Cedar Street will still remain closed. And the reason for that is that with the completion of this piece, it will not be very long before they start the sanitary sewer work on that next section down by Sycamore, headed towards Cedar, but for now not closing Cedar. So I think there's a lot of detail there, but the most important thing for you guys to realize is that is the plan to open that up tomorrow. There are at least 3 entities that are involved in that: the city, Muscatine Power and Water, and the contractor. And as of all conversations current today, and with a walkthrough this evening, it still appears that is going to happen. I want to say that I do reserve the right to
Waffle.
change that.
Make a run for it.
So,
We have
I-
things that deal with safety. And if we get to a point where, yes, we've done that, but we really don't feel like we can not open that up to traffic because of some issue with regards to safety, then I have made it very clear to all 3 of those entities that I won't authorize it. I won't go along with it. So I want you to know that I don't think that's going to happen. We will certainly make it well known, the reasons, why it won't happen if it doesn't, but I still think that's what's going to happen.
I went down there, and that's why I wanted to follow up on it,
Yes.
because I was confused. I was able to see that there was still a lot of construction that appeared to me that they were still doing, and so I was wanting to be just clear so we
Yeah.
didn't have a miscommunications from what
Absolutely, and-
we had mentioned, and obviously I don't want to open it up, and then we have 3 potential traffic accidents or near misses because there's still no street lights up yet, or things that
Yes.
I know that I haven't seen. But I trust your judgment, and so if you choose to say, you know what, we're opening up on Monday, I'm perfectly fine with that. It's just a matter of us being clear on
Right.
what that date's gonna be, and obviously, we don't wanna go in and say, oh, we opened it up because we said the date, we had a couple accidents, and people will say, well, why did we rush versus
Right.
safety.
I think the people are confused a little bit too. They think the whole thing's going to be.
That's
But-
really where I was coming at too,
Yes.
because
So it keeps saying it's going to be, Mississippi Drive's going to be open on December 8th, but
it's not, it's only a
not.
portion of it.
It's- Yes.
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 And then that's,
Large portion.
Yes.
correct, and I agree with that, but I'm just getting at that was really kind of saying, well, you're really can only be able to continue to go down 2nd Street, and then you turn on Iowa.
Yeah, you'll be able to get to it
Or
at
then you
Iowa.
can go, so you're really not able to go around the curve around that
Where
we
Mulberry
normally
is.
would be going from
Uh,
Mulberry. and
You could go
that's-
there, but then you'd have to come back up to 2nd
Yeah,
Street.
but then you're just gonna, so it's just gonna create a new potential traffic, a new areas that we're gonna have to be paying attention to as far as, where people are walking and where cars are gonna be moving through now versus potentially so much up 3rd Street as we were initially having those issues
Yeah.
in the months previously. So I would hope that we would pay attention and having those identified, and traffic can be obviously viewing those things, because we don't want accidents, we don't want near misses, and hopefully we can open this up, and there's a lot of excitement around it. I want to see it open, but I just wanted to get that update so we could at least put that out there. So that's all I have.
I have
Thank you.
2 questions for Jim while he's up there. Will this in any way affect the detours?
Yeah, that's one of the things that is the mission critical, if you will. The subcontractor that has to do with the signing, the temporary construction signing and detours, et cetera, still has to show up tomorrow and still has to perform. And do the changes that are necessary, and because it will change that. The detour that exists for 8th Street will still stay in effect, and the signage will still be there because it's not completely open, it's only partially open. So we want to detour as much through traffic as we can to 8th Street.
That's what I was after, okay.
And
when you say Cedar Street will still be open, you'll be able to get into the park at Cedar Street?
yes. And the timing on that is that will stay open until we get the railroad crossing arms in, which they were down there at 7 o'clock tonight, still working on. I thought was impressive. And the traffic signals that MPNW is working on. And once we get that all in effect and we can open that up, I mean, Iowa and Mississippi Drive will work as a, let's just call it a 3-way stop tomorrow. But the signals will come along and the associated hardware that goes with the railroad. And then when we can open up that to the riverfront, then we will close Cedar. And the railroad, and it's the hope of us and the expressed desire of the railroad to be able to, when they finish the hardware at Iowa, to then just turn right around and go down and start working on the hardware at Cedar. So we hope to flip those really quickly when that happens and have the blessing of the railroad to do it.
Then it's just down to the wiring it and software, et cetera, et cetera?
Yes, to getting the correct wires in and getting the traffic signals installed. And then the coordination that goes along with that. So once they get that work done, it will be a while before Cedar Street opens back up again because we still have the road construction to do and the traffic signals to do and the street to do.
Jim, on the stretch between Iowa and Cedar, what did you say about sewer work there?
Yes.
I thought that's already paved, isn't it?
No. No, that's just the existing pavement and a little piece right at Sycamore's kind of tore
It
up.
only went up till about like 10 feet, it seemed like.
All right, thank you.
Jim,
Yes, sir.
in addition to Iowa, will the, like, Chestnut, Pine, and Lynn, will those be open to the riverfront?
Yes,
Or not to the riverfront?
but to Mississippi Drive, yes. Yeah.
Hazard to guess days, weeks, when the railroad might have the Iowa crossing open?
We have at least two different estimates from two different people. Mid-December, mid-January.
So it's not next week?
Yeah, and one is coming from the signals people and one's coming from the operations people. So I suspect it's just the difference of the perspective as to when that work can be done by the railroad. But
So Cedar will stay open until?
Cedar will stay open until that happens.
Jim, can we get this document up on the website for the folks at home to see?
Sure. Who,
We'll actually work with Kevin. I don't see him here, but work with
Think he
Kevin to
left.
put out maybe a little bit better map and.
Well, I
and
mean,
press
and it probably is
tomorrow.
not gonna open until late sometime tomorrow.
We can work on getting
I'm
something
sure
out
there'd be a
tomorrow.
better map.
Yeah.
I did that one kind of quick.
It looks really
I know somebody
good.
does great
It
maps.
works.
Thank you, Jim. We
All right.
appreciate it.
Just a
Thank
minute. Jim,
Yes, sir.
either you or Brian, what's the latest on the south end force main repair?
That's a Brian question.
It's a Brian?
Are we on your questions now, Alan?
Yes,
I'm
please.
done with mine.
Okay.
Materials for that repair should have been here today. They have done some excavation. We have to order some valves and other hardware, but the pipe should be showing up, and the contractor will start putting that in as soon as it gets here. So I wasn't in the office today. I'm not sure if that started today or not, but it should be started. It should have been started this week, and will go until it's completed. So cold weather won't affect that. Snow shouldn't affect that. It's all underground work, so that should be happening this
Are they
week.
gonna push that through or pull it through?
Pull.
Pull.
Yes, I believe the machine will pull up to 200 tons, something like that. Yes.
Does that take quite an excavation to?
There's
Pit in there?
there's a pit at each end because you have to feed the pipe in and you have to pull the pipe out, and then where you meet together, there's a pit there where they fuse those two pieces. So you'll go, you know, a section of pipe here, and then you'll stop, and you'll go a section of pipe this way, where those two come together, they get fused, and you work your way, you know, a couple hundred feet at a time towards we get back to the plant.
I've seen them, you know, pull cables and stuff like that, but I thought, boy, a 26-inch sewer pipe, that's
Yeah, and
some
it's
pull.
correct. It'll be a serious operation, but it's something that can be done. So.
Thank you, Brian.
Yep.
Thank you. That's all I had.
That's all you had? Councilman Fitzgerald?
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
Staff?
Just a reminder that December 21st from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. we'll be recognizing our council members Bynum, Nat Fig, and Ray Waltz for their dedicated service to the city of Muscatine.
And Fran?
And Fran?
No.
No? We're not going to recognize, okay.
Well, they're not going to recognize me.
But you'll
I'm
be
just-
here, right?
I'm
Fran
just
will be here.
slipping out.
Oh.
No, I'll be here.
We'll have a special reception for Fran in January.
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah, my own party.
And I just had a couple things. Welcome to Cinda, who will be filling Fran's shoes as she retires. And I also wanted to offer a special thank you to firefighters Darren Brook and Craig Shelf, who transported our granddaughter by ambulance to the Children's Hospital at the university after Thanksgiving. Their kindness and expertise really helped make a very scary time a little bit less scary. And I think it is wonderful, and our community is very fortunate and grateful to have this team always at the ready whenever we need them. And we appreciate them a great deal. Hearing nothing else, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We are adjourned.